What's up, guys? Bonret1 here, and this is my review of Horizon Zero Dawn. I got this game Monday night at GameStop, and yesterday I got the platinum. And you might think that means the game is very short, but no, I just don't have a life. I was very free this past week, so this happened. I got the platinum already. There's footage from early on to avoid spoilers or anything like that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm gonna start off with the story. The story in this game starts great. Like, that's what a lot of people were worried about, considering Guerrilla's making a game like this. They figured the story might be the weak part. And at least in the beginning, no, the story starts out great. You play as Aloy, as you can tell, and you're on a quest to find out who your mother is. And also another quest comes about later in the game that's very important. She wants to find out how the world got like this. Why is man no longer the primitive race on Earth? Why are machines roaming around? How did all this happen? What are these ruins here? And the game pretty much answers those questions as it goes on. The main characters here, including Aloy, are very good. Aloy, of course, is the main character, and she is a very good character. Definitely relatable in some ways, and I can definitely see a sequel, and I want to see more of this game's world, and I want to experience it with Aloy instead of a new character, which I doubt they would choose a new character because they stated that she was along with the original idea of Horizon, that they're both connected. So that's good. The story keeps you wanting to know more, and that's what I was very impressed by. Like, you see all this stuff, you're wondering what the hell happened, and the game does a good job of making you keep playing because you want to find out. It's very good in that regard. And then you get to the middle of the story, which is still very good. The story's like major plots are kind of told by either looking at something or dialogue, mostly dialogue. And the middle of the story is good enough, but not as strong as the beginning. The ending here is kind of lazy. I won't spoil what happens, but it's kind of lazy. I mean, it's good. I can't wait to see what else they do with this franchise, but it's still kind of just lazy. Like, this isn't the spoiler. They have an after credit scene, and that's more or less what I'm talking about. Is kind of lazy. Even still, though, the ending itself is kind of lazy, but you have to play it to see what I'm talking about. Um, the side quests range from either good to average, with the majority of them being very good and fun to play, some feeling almost like a chore, and that's unfortunate. But also, I'm willing to give Guerrilla a little bit of a slide because this is their first RPG. Their last game was a mediocre shooter, so I'll give them some slack for that. The fact that there are a lot of good side quests is still very impressive, and the ones that do feel like a chore aren't bad. You don't play like, oh, I can't wait for this to end. It's not like that for any of the missions in this game, which is very good. Just, could have been a little more interesting, especially when you can look at some of the good ones. The good ones in this game are really good. Um, Now on to the graphics. The graphics in this game, it's Guerrilla Games. We knew it was going to look good. It looks beautiful, and the fact that it looks this good when it's not a linear game is worthy of praise. I won't say this looks better than Uncharted 4, and it's definitely not the best looking open world game I've played on PS4. But I mean, it's up there with games like, well, I won't say it's up there with, but it looks very good. Games like Batman Arkham Knight still have it beat, and I'm talking about the PS4 version of Arkham Knight. Has it beat a little bit. Certain regards to look beautiful, like the foliage in this game is top notch, very high quality, some of the best I've seen on console. Um, the character models when they're not moving look fantastic. Not as detailed as a game like Uncharted 4, but again, this is an open world game, so I can't expect that. The animations, though, are very inconsistent, and this is what we saw in that clip that leaked earlier. You could see the lip sync was bad, and yeah, the lip sync for some, not all, not even most, just some, like probably 5 or 6 missions in the whole game suffer from a character having bad lip sync or bad voice acting in some cases. They prioritized important characters over non-important characters, and you can tell some characters just have a very low quality of voice acting or just very low quality lip sync, along with the animations, which aren't always that smooth. I mean, some animations look fine, like Aloy's animations, for example, are okay, but they could be better. And then some side characters' animations are just like honestly laughable at some points. Um, the day-night cycle is very good. It's a realistic enough time to where, because you're playing a game, they can't make it act like a real day-night cycle. But it's pretty good. I don't know the time difference between each of them, but like it's not just day, now it's night. They actually have a full cycle of the sun where it'll go to like autumn or something, not autumn, where it'll go to like dawn and stuff like that, and it looks very good. And some of those sites, some of the places in certain times of the day look the best, like when it's raining or if it's the sun's about to come up or about to go down. Game looks beautiful. The particle effects in here are beautiful. When you shoot the machines or anything else that's metal, like the sparks that fly off when you kill them, the electricity that sparks, and just the ashes, highly detailed, looks great, looks very high quality. The machines themselves are brilliantly designed. Like, these are highly detailed, and someone that that loves science fiction and like seeing all this metal together, the machines just look amazing. Like, even by the end of the game, I looked at something simple like a Watcher or a Sawtooth, and I'm just in awe at how detailed it is. They did such a good job with the animations and the detail of the machines. The machines are the real star of the show, as like the whole point of the game shows. And like it's amazing how good the machines look and act, and how much of a challenge they can potentially be. But yeah, like I said, lip sync can be inconsistent, unfortunately, but the important parts aren't. And then we get to the gameplay. Yeah, this is the real star of the game. The graphics are good, the story is good, the gameplay is top notch. You would think just using a bow and arrow and a few traps and wire weapons will get old, but it doesn't. The variety of arrows in the game are very refreshing, and it gives you a lot of options to play with. And I like that about this game. You have options. Like, I personally never used a trap in this game ever. A trap that you put down, never used that. I did use the trip caster, where you could put down the wire ropes that they could trip over, but I never put down an actual trap as far as like something you put down and they walk into it and you shoot it and it blows up and does damage. Never used that, but it was there if I wanted to. I know some people probably did use it. The machines can be both challenging and rewarding to kill. I mean, right here, for example, I was like, not underleveled, but I was early on in the game, more or less. Didn't know what I was doing against these guys, so I got killed twice by them. Now, if I were to go back, and I could just drop these guys in a few seconds. If it was the same two, I could drop them in a few seconds. But once you get good, that's the next thing. The learning curve is very rewarding. Once you learn how to take down these machines, it's a wrap. I can like take down Thunderjaw with ease now, and not even sweat. It's so easy. And that's my next part. The game is a little too easy once you get used to it. And I know that's probably like the whole point of the game. They want it to be easy once you get used to it, but I would have still liked it if the machines were still just, in general, these hard things to take down, and you can't take on too many at once so you get destroyed. Because I've taken on 2 Thunderjaws at once, no problem. Taken on 2 Behemoths at once, no problem. I mean, it's honestly kind of sad how easy the game is. And I was playing on hard, and unfortunately raising the difficulty doesn't really change the difficulty of fighting. It just lowers your chances of finding rare or not rare, just resources. Like, you get fewer resources the higher the difficulty, which is honestly, I got a shit ton on hard, so I don't want to know how many you get on like easy or something. The fighting of when you fight humans, it's very just simple and kind of slow and just boring. Like, you got this game to fight machines, and the humans are not interesting to fight. It's fun when you play it with stealth, but even then you can't move the bodies, so it's not a full stealth system. And also, the stealth sections are very easy if you just drop everyone with the arrows. Benefit of the bow and arrow, quiet weapon, so there goes all the challenge of like, oh, let me not use my gun or something. That makes it easier than stuff in, say, like Uncharted, because you have a ranged way of taking people down, and you have arrows that can one-shot them to the head, even the heavy enemies. So yeah, could have been better there. Make the human fights more interesting. It's definitely kind of like an Ubisoft game. You have your towers in the form of the tall necks that you climb up and override. You have good collectibles that are actually cool to find, and they reveal stuff about the world. All of the collectibles, not just some of them. The crafting system is very good, along with the RPG system. I wish the max level was higher, but that's my only complaint with the RPG system. Other than that, very good. The focus is a very good way to introduce those technical options, like learn the enemy's path, put down the bomb on that path. They'll walk into it, go from there, etc., etc. So I love the options they give you with the focus. It opens up a whole new possibility for technical combinations. Like I said, with the types of arrows and traps, very good. The full upgrade tree is very useful, and once you get everything, you become a very unstoppable force of nature. And now we get to the bugs and the flaws. This is a small area because I did come across a few, but it didn't detract from the full game that much. A few times I couldn't move, like I get hit by something, couldn't move. I was like stuck on the wall, and I just like, why can't I move? I had to get killed and start over. The platforming is smooth for the most part, but sometimes you get stuck on stuff and it gets annoying as hell. Or sometimes you can't reach the next ledge up and you're like, why can't I reach this? There's no reason I shouldn't be able to reach this. And it was honestly kind of annoying, but luckily sometimes you just have to go back down and climb back up, but still, that's annoying. I found a potentially game-breaking bug going back to get an item, and I had to fast travel out of said area because the door closed. So I didn't see them announce a fix for that particularly in the patch notes this game's gotten. So hopefully someone else reports it. I sent them a tweet, so I don't know if they saw it or not. And then the flaws overall, just the ending felt lazy. I mean, the beginning was great. This game is like a downward incline as far as the story goes. It's not bad. It's very good overall. It's just the beginning was so strong that the ending was disappointing. Not disappointing, but weak. Just very weak and lazy. And the middle was good, just not as good as the beginning. So it's literally, unfortunately, a downward slope as far as the story goes. It does get better in the middle, and you learn a lot of stuff, but just keeps going down. So, I mean, hopefully for a sequel or DLC, they can fix that and have the story be consistent or keep getting better as it goes on. And as I said, the game is a little too easy once you get everything. Like, once you get the rope caster, the Thunderjaw is a little bitch. That's just the honest truth. So hopefully they can make the game harder in like DLC, or hopefully the sequel they acknowledge this, that fighting the machines is easy as hell, so they make them harder. Like, give them more ways of attacking or something like that, so you have to do more than just shoot and aim. Like, you have to be specific to do damage, but even that's not enough really in terms of difficulty. But yeah, overall this is a fantastic game. I can't wait for more DLC or a sequel. I know it was a good game when I couldn't put it down. Like, I got this platinum in 6 days, and this was not a short game. So, yeah, congrats to Guerrilla. This is their first RPG, and it's a damn good one. I can't wait to see what you guys do with the franchise in the future. I'm going to award this game a 9 out of 10. Highly recommended. Definitely go get this. It's actually living up to the hype, and the only thing I'm sad about now is I've got the platinum, so there's nothing left for me to do anymore. So, Guerrilla, get working on that DLC so I can pop this disc right back into my PS4. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on how you thought of the game. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Whatever, etc., etc. Let me know all that down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next time. This is VonRed1 signing out. Peace.